All right, folks, welcome back to the Safety Net Qualifiers. This is a qualifying... Oops, press all the wrong buttons, why don't you, Rifkin? This is a qualifying series. This is the only qualifying series tonight. I want to let you all know again, if you missed the announcement earlier, Desert and Moose-Kills will be playing up tomorrow, due to both of them being a little bit exhausted and it's taking a little bit longer than either of them I think expected. So we'll know the outcome of that as soon as possible. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe they agreed to play it out. So that being said, this is another qualifying set. This is the only one we're going to find out about tonight. We've had Saravati and Taiga get through. We're going to find which of these two joins them. We haven't had any Zergs yet, so maybe root for JonSnow a little bit. I don't know. But spawning here on the leftmost side of Catalina in this first game of this last series, it's Root Gaming's Minigun.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it's JonSnow.
And of course, this tournament is brought to you in part by CM Storm, Cooler Master, as well as Cheers for Game, guys. If you want to do us a big favor, go tweet at both of them. Cheers for Game is just at Cheers for Gaming, spelled exactly like this, and Cooler Master is at CM_esports. Let them know that you're thankful they're getting involved with yet another tournament for StarCraft 2. Trust me, you have no idea. Like, you could buy their products, and that's cool, but they're looking for love. So give them some love on Twitter if you got it, guys. But JonSnow is a really good Zerg player. We've seen a lot of him through Copa America. He was, of course, on Breaking Out with Fear Dragon. He competes in a lot of the North American qualifiers. And I really thought 2014 was going to be the year of JonSnow. But when he didn't make it into the WCS America qualifiers, oh, that like just broke my heart. This is definitely one of the Zerg players I was thinking of specifically when we made the Safety Net tournament. Where we're like, we got to give these guys another chance because they are that good. And it sucks that they couldn't qualify.
Good thing you signed up then. Unlike some other people. You know.
You know as well. Yeah, we know.
And you know. There's no forge, so
this is a fake.
JonSnow don't know.
Well, JonSnow doesn't know. It's what he's known for.
Not knowing.
It's getting
True.
weird. All right,
too bad.
This fake didn't work. Yeah, it didn't prompt any sort of reaction. Cool moves out of Minigun. It didn't cost them much to do it. Just a bit of annoyance, a bit of a nuisance.
Sure. I mean, JonSnow would have known it was completely a fake had he scouted correctly first. But unfortunately, the Overlord go to the wrong side first. But they're going to set up nicely for future suicides into the base. Minigun did scout that there was gas, so no poking out the stalker for you, or be very careful about it.
He still may end up doing like the Zealot Stalker Mothership Core poke towards that third to check it later on, but yeah, you can't exactly dash across the map. I really like, actually, you know, no one else really does this the same way. I don't know if Puck is still doing this, but I really like Puck's openers for PvZ. He would do like double stalkers to kill off creep tumors, and because you know, creep tumors are armored, you always forget this. They were really effective. It was really cool to watch happen.
Why is creep tumor armored, but it's not count as a building? Okay.
You know how like eggs work? The smaller it is in StarCraft 2, the harder it is to kill, right? Maybe? I don't know. Ones are pretty easy to kill. Big shout out, by the way, to Chaz? TJASWE. Chisawe. I'm sorry, I can't say that name, but thank you for subbing to the channel, and thank you for embarrassing me trying to say hello.
Awesome. Well, third, but also a Stargate and a Forge from Minigun. Now, JonSnow does have these Overlords in a nice position right at the front. So all I need is one Ling. Please, with your speed. Check it. Oh, he did see it. Okay, good.
Or the Overlord in a better position.
Yeah, the Overlord could duck in there. It is going to die. Oh, that's,
well, I guess that'll be the indication as well that the Stargate wasn't canceled or anything when you see the Phoenix up in your face.
That's true. Phoenix is going to go directly for that Overlord. I guess he saw it or figured it out or just checking the common locations for an Overlord. JonSnow, funnily enough, not in a common location. It usually is where Minigun just scouted, but this is second common location, scouting that third. So there you go. You're going to die. Deal with it. Deal with life.
Contemplate all the things you've done wrong in
as an Overlord.
Fleeting moments of your life.
Imagine how many Lings should go crazy after you die when you're supply blocked. That's what should happen if we're going to be for reals, okay? Terran should start to starve when they run out of supply depots. Protoss... Well, Protoss already gets like... I think Protoss is okay. But Zerg should just go everything crazy when it gets supply blocked.
I think it's really insensitive if you're bringing up starving. I have a lot of friends who have been hungry in their life, and that sort of conversation is just not okay.
Would you not? Would you not?
Alright, we do have double spores coming up. I recognize this was Phoenix. Minigun didn't want to, or pardon me, JonSnow didn't want to take too much damage from this, so we'll quickly thwart these away. Double queens pick up for the lack of double spore over there, double spores in the natural and the main, so yeah, the Phoenix are going to be fairly limited on what they can do. It's a weird judgment to make, because the cost and the investment of all these extra spores and queens, I've heard players make arguments for only going one spore crawler. I've heard players make arguments for saying it's better to lose no units and make that second spore crawler. So I mean, I really don't know which is technically better, but I do like that JonSnow is taking preparations to minimize his damage taken here.
That was absolutely terrible spore crawler placement. He had to move it. His queen died anyways. Now it's in a good location. Now it's fine. But man, I didn't just build it there. Oh well. A lot of lings are on the way. I was oohing because I saw the +1 on the tab. I think lings are awesome in general, but especially against Protoss. So looking for a third to cancel. No third to cancel though. Minigun playing super safe, going up to Colossus. I don't know if he's gonna do like a 2-base all-in off the back of this. He has what, 5 gateways? No, just 4.
Well, he's running everywhere around the map, just trying to control it for the time being. I mean, he's seeing already there's no third. He knows this as well, but wants to make sure he catches any potential pylons, probes that run out. I mean, the nice thing is, like, if you do see Phoenix, you know, a classic response is just Hydralis, but if you go lots of lings behind it, there's not enough graviton beam energy in the world to lift up all these lings. So JonSnow can make this work with what he's going for.
There's Minigun's expansion. He is still getting a lot of probes, so definitely we see that down. Not the earliest that we've seen in Protoss versus Zerg. Still nicely timed. What?
I hope Panic Switch does not title sponsor the Olima League, because he wants to call it the Roly Poly Olima League.
Roly Poly Oli. That's funny. It's a funny name. Roly Polies were my favorite bug when I was young.
Like, I wonder if Olivia even realizes how great her name is for puns. Like Olivia, Oli Moly, Olima League.
I think she does now.
Yeah, like, I don't think, like, it was like one of those coincidences where you're like, man, you got a sweet name. It's like your parents named you Rick. You got a good name. I got named Graham. What a terrible name is that?
Yeah, Graham is kind of a terrible name.
It's from the Bible.
Your parents really, yeah, after you over.
Yeah, whatever, Jessica.
Jessica is also not a great name. I'll agree with that. So, you can't hurt me there, internet trolls.
You can't hurt because I've got a giant scar my whole life.
No one's made fun of me for having that name, because who does that? But it's not the greatest name.
Well, Phoenix is still roaming around. Can't really do a whole lot at the moment, but the Hydras are out, and they're numerous enough that normally the Phoenixes catch these one at a time, rallying out in the middle of the map, and yeah, okay, you start bleeding out Hydralis, but JonSnow's got enough of them clumped up as well that should not really happen. Almost gets the Observer.
Mm-hmm. We do have Blink and +2 now coming, but only after Colossus production has started. Going up to 3 now. This is going to be very nice against those Hydralis. We don't have a Roach, so we don't have a Roach Warren. So he's gonna do like a Ling Hydra attack into the Spire switch. If so, he's gotta, you know, kill the Stalkers. That'll be his goal. No? Ling Hydra Corruptor. Okay. Oh, and Mutas. Alright. Makes sense. There are Phoenixes out in the map.
Muta Corruptor's cool to see, though. I like this. I think this is actually a really strong composition for Protoss when pulled off correctly, but I don't think... like, there is a clock on it. And it's not about Minigun responding by going double Phoenixes or Stargates like that, which he is preparing to do. But it's like, you know, the Archons are going to start coming out. The Stalker number is going to build up slowly over time behind this. Muta Corruptor has its place, but it kind of has to do damage. I wouldn't say right away, but it can't just sit back and ball up 200. Not like Roach Hydra Viper or something can.
I don't really like it's as much as, you know, say opening up with some type of Ling Hydra attack, or even the Lings doing something other than just running around. Minigun is prepared for this. He's going to get into Phoenixes, which I always feel more favorable for the Protoss if they're not, or for the Zerg if they don't let the Protoss get Phoenixes, or a lot of Phoenixes. Then the forced base trade usually happens, and The Zerg seem to always win that. But as comfortable as Minigun is, it won't be a game of frustrating the Protoss to no end. It will be a game of keeping calm and eventually attacking with a pretty good army full of Archons and Stalkers. You know, Protoss Deathball.
So I know we're a little off topic, but this is going off the delay that comes from chat. Another great name for the Olima League would be the Wololo Olima League.
Yes, that guy. Someone give that guy money to sponsor.
Wololo.
I'm kind of tempted to do that now.
Little Olima League.
Yeah, I don't know which one I'd call it. Little League.
Basically, the most annoying name possible. We actually have fungal growth being, or well, not fungal growth, but rather pathogen glands for fungal growth being researched behind this. JonSnow also takes an additional base to the right. He is on 5 bases coming to this point. So the nice thing is, regardless of how well this Mutacorruptor, I guess, transition, I thought this was gonna be a big all-in, but he's investing in other things. But regardless how good or not this transition is, he's actually gonna have a plan B, which is kind of nice. Not just all his eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I like that as well. I was also scared he was just going to go for as many Corruptors and Mutas as he was. And, by going into Hive, by going into Fungals, the Protoss Death Ball will not win out. Whereas if they got enough Archons, like, Mass Mute ain't going to do nothing. So you do need to go into something else rather than just hope a base trade works into your favor. Especially as they get up to like a 4th base and you both start getting that money. Like who has the most cannons versus who has, you know, the more spines. Whatever. The Hive, though, what is he going to use for the Hive? He continues to upgrade into those Lings. They're the only ground force he's really able to rely on, as they are cheap. But is it going to be Ultras as well? Starting to get a bank. Could get quite a few.
Yeah, before I said there weren't enough Graviton beams to lift up the Lings, that's changed.
Okay.
This is not an effective use of energy, but he's got so much of it, it kind of doesn't matter. That is, how many? 15 Phoenix.
So, you know what's funny? The Ultras would be good and all.
You can't
but he doesn't really. Well, yeah, that too. But he doesn't necessarily need them if he finds himself in a position where, you know, Minigun's out on the map. You know, not that great force fields. And the Corruptor Mutas can snipe off the Colossus. Because then the 3/2 Lings, the Juno Glands, will wreck a lot of that army. I mean, even if Archons do start getting added in, if the Colossus are down, Lings are very effective. You know, and you're kind of looking for the same situation with the Ultras. Obviously, Ultras are a lot more beefy. They'll crush the force fields that otherwise stop you from getting that surround. But they both want a big surround, and they got it.
The Fungal, he gets the Mothership Core. Big deny of the recall. Minigun now in a lot of trouble as the army is just annihilated. JonSnow could not have taken a better fight. Oh my god.
I guess he only has one more Fungal, so he doesn't want to tango with the Phoenixes. I'm surprised he's running back.
I think he could. I think if those Phoenixes come forward, they're going to die. Yo, the sick thing about that, too, it was that quick, like, split-second swap to the Mothership Core. It's so hard to actually kill that. The recall goes off so quickly, but he barely got that down, prevented that recall. Minigun lost so... I can't... Like, the supply there, tears were shed everywhere. Protoss across the galaxy wept for that fight.
Yeah, it's been a while. You know, people stopped depending on the Muta transition. I remember, like, Jaedong's, like, you know, heyday was the Muta transition. And then he started depending more on Swarm Host. So it's been a long time since we've seen that type of battle happen. Now, the Fungals do miss.
He's still got a couple more, though. This is about out of Fungals.
Oh, he doesn't have any more. Oh, this would have been perfect.
It does get the Nexus, though. Beats Mini back down to 4 bases. But, you know, JonSnow losing this fight is pretty devastating. I'm not going to lie. But he kills so many of the Phoenix. He kills so much of the important units that were over here. Yes, he loses his Infestors, but this is where his bank starts coming into effect. Right now, there's 1 Immortal and 3 Archons. This Ultralist swap is... I don't think he deals with it. Bottom line, there's 52 links to support this as well. 3/3 Adrenal Glands, I believe, is researched as well. Yes, so this army is going to be the ultimate anti-Colossus Phoenix army. If there's a couple of Immortals, even if there's a couple of Archons, the Lings are going to take care of those.
Yeah. Loving the way JonSnow has handled this game so far, but it's not quite over. Now, if Minigun was producing Immortals as opposed to 2 Colossus, I would feel a lot better. 1 or 2 Colossus would be a nice addition. They'll take care of the Lings. But then it's mostly about trying to deal with the Ultras. Archons and Immortals being the most effective. You can also I think replace the Colossus with storms, although you do storm some of your own army. But you know, finding a good SimCity position is going to be #1 for Minigun here, holding on as long as he can.
I just don't know if he's going to have the time to build that Immortal army up to what it needs to be. Lings get the surround. They're going to take down that Nexus pretty darn quick. The Ultras are getting some good connects. The Archons hit hard, but they can't take the hits the same way the Ultras can. Lings even getting on top of some of the Colossus now. He's not quite able to take these down, so he loses the Lings, but the Ultras are still just going ham. The Colossus corpse is being flung over the barracks, or the gateway, because who the hell cares? Some Phoenix in the back can't do much of anything, not able to lift these units. Good game is called, and JonSnow will take game #1.
I like those Phoenixes. They're like panicking. Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
They were like, do we lift up the queens? But there's more queens. What do I do? Left, right, left, right.